Hi, and welcome to the SJ Childs Show. I'm your host, SJ Childs, and today I have some really exciting guests. I'm very excited to have them here, John and Mark Cronin, and they are the owners of John's Crazy Socks, they're just brilliant, beautiful, amazing people, and I'm just so honored to have them with me here today. So, without further ado, hello, John.
Hi, thank you so much, Sarah. I'm really pleased to be here.
We're really excited to be here, Sarah.
Hi,
Thank
Mark.
you for inviting us on your podcast.
It's such a pleasure to have you both here. I joked with you earlier that I've been watching you guys in your lives. And so I know more about you than you do about me. We're still going to interview you today, though, because I think what you do is valuable and so special. And I want to share it with all of the special viewers and listeners that are a part of my SJ Childs family. So let's start from the beginning. Give us a good introduction of yourselves.
Well, you want to start and introduce us, buddy?
Sure. My name is John. This is my partner, my dad, Mark. We are John's Crazy Socks.
What's our mission?
A spring Happin.
But Sarah, let me tell you a little bit about John, right? You are an entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
You're a sock tycoon.
Yes, I am.
You're a public speaker.
Yes, I am.
You're a philanthropist.
Yes, I am.
Oh, my gosh.
You're an athlete.
Yes, I am.
You're a dancer.
Yeah.
You have a girlfriend, so that means you're a boyfriend.
Yes, I am. I'm
Very smooth.
Ooh.
And you happen to have Down syndrome.
I do. I have Down syndrome. Down syndrome never hold me back.
But you know this is important, Sarah. John is a lot of things. Part of that is his Down syndrome, but that doesn't define him. And it doesn't define anybody who happens to have Down syndrome. And it doesn't limit him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bit about John.
I love that. Oh, what a pleasure to meet you, John. So I'm just honored. I wish I was there to give you a hug, but I'll just imagine I'm doing it.
Want to give a hug over the internet?
Yes, I love it. Oh, and what about you, Mark? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the troublemaker of the pair, right?
I hear troublemaker, and he's a good dad. I hear a good husband, and I hear a fabulous, and I hear a very active.
So let's see a few facts. Yes, married 41 years.
Oh,
years. Father of 3 sons. So we didn't have kids for about 10 years after we were married. We were off figuring things out. And I was always wary, but once we had kids, there's nothing better than being a dad. But, in my life, I've done a lot of different things. I've taught school. I've worked for a congressman. I've worked much of my career in the healthcare field. I ran the Medicaid health program in New York City.
Wow.
Ran a bunch of healthcare management and consulting firms. Along the way, I started a software company. I've run political campaigns. I've written books and fiction, reams of very bad fiction. And now I get to work with my son in this social enterprise we've created, and we get to go have fun, and we're very fortunate to get to do.
He's a father-in-law.
Father-in-law. Oh, because of Emily.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right, because your older brother is married, so now we've added to the family.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's an important role too, right?
Get to do that, right? actually, as a parent, there's so much we want to do, right?
Yeah.
And in many ways, there's so little we can do.
Mm.
Our kids are going to be our kids are going to be.
Absolutely.
So, Emily, our daughter-in-law, and married to our eldest son, was a bit shaken up because there was that shooting in outside Chicago recently, and her brother and his wife and their young children were there and were separated during the frenzy. And Emily was really shaken up on it. So we've been checking in. And you do what what can we do?
Yeah.
So I sent her chicken pot pies because I know she likes those.
Oh.
We could give her some comfort food.
Yeah.
Make her feel okay, right?
And that's the kind of thoughtfulness that does what you're doing and makes the world a better place. That kind of heartfelt thoughtfulness and passion for people. So absolutely beautiful. I'm so proud of you just as a human to human.
Well, I don't have much choice. I came out as a human.
Yeah, right?
An earthworm.
That's what we all have in common, isn't it? It's the common denominator. That's for sure.
Well, and you kind of learn as you go. One of the things, when we asked what could we do to be good guests, you said just be yourselves. Well, I learned a lot from John. But one of the things that's true about, I think, who we are and also how we lead the organization we do, John here has no guile. This is who you are, right?
Absolutely.
And I am too old to care.
Yeah.
This is what you get.
Yes,
There's no standard models. We
Yes.
leading our organization, we never get to blame it on headquarters or blame it on the board. We're the ones who get to make those decisions, who, if we dream about the way an organization ought to be, well, that's how we ought to make it. We have no excuses for doing otherwise.
Yeah.
Um,
That sounds like a place I'd want to be, definitely, or create my own self. I agree with that.
Yeah. Got to figure out what works for you.
Yeah, definitely. What was going to school like for you, John? Did you have a good school experience?
I do. I had a really good experience at my high school. I study life skills. Life skills is about living independent. Like I learned I learned other experiences like a work, like something I learned experiences.
Well, and we can share. I can share some perspective. One thing, John always loved going to school.
I love that.
He liked that. He's curious, wanting to learn, very social. When John was in the first grade, he entered the first grade in an inclusion classroom.
Yeah.
And he was struggling. And the teachers recommended to us that John move out of that class into a 12-1-1 class, a special ed class. And my wife and I were initially resistant. And part of it was, I think we were thinking of ourselves. But we listened to the teachers, and their argument was, listen, John knows that he's doing different things than everyone else in the class and doesn't like it, and he's frustrated. And he'll do better in the other environment. And part of what we learned out of that was to work with the teachers as a team.
Yeah.
We had an interest. We knew, what we thought was best for John, but they had particular training and knowledge that we didn't have. And that served, I think, us and John well throughout his school career.
Mhm.
Because we worked a lot with the teachers, right?
Absolutely.
They would tell us what they were working on. We would reinforce that at home. If there were issues at home, we shared that. And quite remarkably, in all the years he spent in the local school district, not once did he have a bad teacher.
Oh.
Which, I laugh. I do admission interviews for my undergraduate college, the alumni interviews. And one of the questions I ask applicants frequently is, tell me about a great teacher you had and why that person was a great teacher. And then I'll say, tell me about a lousy teacher you had and why it was lousy. And frequently they're very anxious and they think it's a trick question or a trap or something, but it's not. You have so many teachers, they can't all be great. But John was really fortunate on that. You really thrived. You like
Good.
I do.
And in fact, even now, we'll be doing public, we do a lot of speaking engagements.
Yeah.
John will stop in the middle of those and give shout outs
Oh, I love it.
to particular teachers he had, like Miss Lee, right?
Yeah, Miss Lee.
What Miss Lee teach you?
She is a speech teacher, a speech therapy teacher. I learned from her that because it taught me speak clearly and
She taught you use the little words.
It's really helpful.
And now look at you. You're a public speaker.
Incredible. Like, oh my gosh. I can't imagine what she must feel about it too. She must feel so proud of you. And
we love meeting with teachers, particularly special education teachers, to share, not just John, but our colleagues. Here's the payoff, right?
Yeah,
this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
And there's something else just to share with your audience, because you said you have a lot of families that have a child maybe with autism or with a different ability.
Yeah.
When John was young, John couldn't talk. John learned sign language, and you used an assistive device.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important that people know there's never a guarantee of where this is going. But now you stood up in front of 5,000 people at a Microsoft conference and spoke, right? You introduced the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden before an audience of 22,000 people. And all this from a young man who at one point couldn't talk.
Yeah, that's so inspiring and really helps parents to understand you have to take things day by day. You can't look too far into the future. You have to really be in the present with your child. Not only that is really meet your child where they are at.
Absolutely.
Like you said, it's so hard when you're a new parent to go in with the expectations that you have for your child, but instead go in with the intentions for your child. I think that that's such a difference of thinking that is so much healthier and easier for parents.
Yes, and that's true for all of our children.
Yeah, all of them.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mentioned it earlier, in many ways they're going to be who they are. And they're going to find their way through the world the same way we did.
Yeah.
I remember the day John was born. That's when we found out he had Down syndrome. We didn't know in advance.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law, my wife's mother, who had worked within a social service agency and had worked with people with Down syndrome, she came to the hospital, and I know she was being encouraging. And she said, sometimes these guys, they can grow up and they can get a job and like push a broom someplace. And I know she was meaning this in a positive way.
Yeah.
But it was devastating.
Yeah.
Because
limiting.
When your child is born, that child could grow up to play center field for the New York Yankees.
Absolutely.
Now, Yes, if you ask me to be rational, the chances of that happening are quite slim. But everything is possible.
Yes.
And now we get asked, oh, did you ever expect this business to be this way? Well, my eldest son, he works for a tech firm, a tech startup. They develop interfaces for healthcare companies, and he does improv theater and he runs marathons. Well, I didn't expect that either.
Right?
I wasn't holding him in my arms when he was born saying, someday you'll do improv theater.
Yeah. I love that.
But how wonderful that he does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We embrace our kids and their skills and talents, and hopefully try to push them in the direction that makes them happy, that we see that they have special interests. And I think we also have a 22-year-old, a stepdaughter I raised since she was 5. So I kind of joke that I raised a human already. I've already raised an adult. But yeah, and the same thing. My husband has a great analogy for parenting. And he said that, children are the arrows and parents are the bows. And the bows can be beautifully crafted with the best wood, and their arrow can be straight with the most beautiful feathers on it. And when that child's ready and we shoot the arrow into the world, anything can change its trajectory. Anything. And there's nothing that we've done wrong or that we could have done or that we're going to do that will change the trajectory of this arrow. So I think that that's a really great way to help parents kind of let go a little bit. And even someone said to me this morning, I said, oh my gosh, my 10-year-old is like getting so independent and she's wanting to, do more things longer and outside of the time frames normal and than usual. And she said to me, well, then you're being a great parent, because independent kids are learning how to be responsible. It's kids that aren't independent, that don't have responsibility. Like, those are the kids that you need to worry about or need more support and more help.
Yes, I sometimes joke that being a bad parent is actually good for your kids. If you're not going to get them dressed, they're going to have to figure out how to get dressed.
Yeah.
If you're not making dinner, they're going to have to figure out how to cook dinner.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to be so bad that child services has been great. But otherwise, it's promoting that independence.
Yeah.
Which is very hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's particularly hard for families where you have a child with a disability. Mm-hmm. Because you want to protect the child, and yet in doing that, you may be limiting your child.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's very hard for a parent to watch a child fail. Mm-hmm. And yet, if they don't fall down, how can they ever learn to get up?
Isn't that so true? And it's so easy to want to protect your child, especially your special needs child, in any way. And the best thing you can do sometimes is give them the independence with good boundaries so that they can make their own decisions in that space.
Yes.
And that, I think that's kind of hopefully the route I'm trying to take, and, teach people that it's okay to have that.
We did things with our kids when they were younger, particularly the older two. They could do anything they wanted to do with their hair. They'd grow it long. They got mohawks. Patrick, every once in a while, would get things shaved into his head.
Right.
A Yankee logo, a Jet logo. And my wife at first was like, I don't know about this. I said, sweetheart, let them do this now.
Yeah.
Let them figure it out.
I love it.
And who cares?
That's what I say.
Who cares? Right?
Green hair, who cares?
Right.
Do it now.
The only one who can change his hair is John. Because you are our logo. And you got to look this way the rest of your life.
It's not crazy hair. It's crazy socks.
I think it's kind of wig.
I like that. That would be kind of funny.
Keep it straight.
I love it. Oh, cool. So good. Hey, John, tell me, some of the favorite places you've been.
Places.
Yeah. What cities do you like to visit?
Oh, I like Boston.
That's where you're at now.
I like Boston, and I like I really like Providence.
Providence, okay.
Providence, and I like going to Providence, Boston. I like going to
Well, you like going to Washington, D.C.
I like DC.
You really liked it when we visited Palm Springs.
I like that one too.
Oh. Is there a place you haven't liked?
Yeah, I've definitely I really like. I never visited.
Which is
Miami.
Miami. You want to go to Miami?
Oh, I like that.
So
there we
we
go.
are fortunate. We've been able to travel to a lot of places with our business, and also family will get out places. And but John and I will fly into a place. We'll get in the airport, get in the rent-a-car and the Uber, and as we're leaving the airport, John looks around and he always says the same thing.
It's pretty beautiful. I'm gonna live there.
I love it. So we're in Calgary in Alberta, and we're driving out, and he's saying this, and I'm looking around. There are just warehouses around, but he's so happy. It's great stuff, right?
Oh, I was just going to ask if you've been to other countries too.
Yeah, and I went to all around Canada, and we went to Edmonton, Calgary,
Saskatoon,
yeah,
and Vancouver,
and Ottawa.
In Ottawa,
we've been there. Plus, we had a speaking engagement in Mexico.
Ooh,
and you've been to Ireland.
Oh, what?
I really found out Ireland. My favorite thing down Ireland, County Clare. I went there. I went there. I have relatives down there. And it's my mother and my grandmother.
Oh, neat.
She grew up County Clare's and down Ireland. And I went down for a wedding of one of the relatives. It's really nice and very pretty.
That's so incredible. You've had so many neat experiences, John.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's a great journey.
I love it.
And part of it is the attitude of no matter where we go,
yeah,
just appreciate and have fun.
Absolutely.
I joke, John's been to the hot spots, to Charleston, West Virginia, Utica, New York, Omaha, Nebraska, and just love it all.
Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi.
Now you got to come to Salt Lake City.
We do got to get there.
Yeah.
We're virtually out there at BYU, but we have to bring John for a visit.
Yes.
But we get excited. Like we're going to be speaking in North Dakota next month.
Oh, cool.
We're in Fargo, and that has us excited.
Yeah.
It's me particularly excited because that is the last of the 48 states that I have to visit, of the lower 48 to visit.
That's fantastic.
So we're really excited about that.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. That's great.
I right near from you. I Salt Lake City. I think I like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hour drive all the way down south to the Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Well, you've stayed one night in Park City.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
When we were traveling, we went to Yellowstone.
Oh, Yellowstone really good.
I like Yellowstone.
We're driving around and heading back towards Denver.
That's great.
Yeah, I like Denver.
Me too. I love Denver.
Yes, sir. One time in Yellowstone, I feel I not liking is a shooter.
Oh, so when we were out there with John, we were doing, back some hiking off, well off the trail. And John wasn't going to be able to keep up with us. So what we had was a jogging stroller.
Okay.
We could put him in and we could push him. So he was riding like King Tut. And my eldest son and I would take turns pushing him along the trail.
Are you and Patrick?
Right. Yes, that's what I said. The oldest son, right?
Yeah.
And you would tell us, oh, stop making it so bumpy.
I love that.
How old am I then?
Oh, I forget how old you would have been. So was Patrick in high school? So let's say Patrick was 14. You would have been 8. Maybe he was younger. I lose track of the time,
Yeah. How old are you now, John?
I'm 26.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. That's fantastic. And, I have one more question for you because we touched on this a little, but I want our listeners to know, and people, tell us about your boyfriend duties and how that came about. How did you become a boyfriend? Tell me about this special girl.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what's your girlfriend's name?
My girlfriend name is Stephanie.
And where did you meet her?
I first met her at summer school program in South. First summer school I went to is Southtown.
So you met her in school, and you guys were in the same class through junior high and through high school.
Yeah, I probably between 11 years.
So
we have a visitor.
Oh.
This is DJ. He can't hear you because I have my headphones on, but
hey, DJ,
they're saying hello. Can you wave hello to them? He likes Japan, as you can see. That's his preferred language for right now. We do a lot of Japanese learning over here. So
we're gonna go to Japan.
We'll get to Japan.
Oh, we want to go too. So let's book our tickets together, okay? For sure.
I never go to Tokyo.
Well, she hasn't been to Japan, so she hasn't been to Tokyo yet. But she will be.
I will go to Japan. DJ wants to go more than anything in the world to Japan because not only does he love Japan and Japanese, he loves Mario.
He loves Mario. Okay.
Mario, but that's where that's Mario Brothers, right? Oh, funny. Okay, so tell me about Stephanie. I'm so sorry. You met her at school.
Yeah.
Did you guys go to like a school dance or anything, or how did it happen?
I started in 10 years between junior high and high school. Right in the summertime.
That's so cool.
They've been on again, off again, and in fact, we do a podcast now. One of the weekly features is an update on John's love life.
I love it. Okay, good. So we're not like getting into anything that's like not supposed to be talked about. I think what happened at
one point, and so you were dating for a while, and then for many years you weren't dating, and then I think Stephanie called him up and told him what he was going to do.
Yep. She knew, right? I'm so happy to hear that. Well, I'm going to be listening in, John, because I'm going to be wanting to know updates now too for myself. I'm going to have to be watching. A lot of drama out there. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so grateful and happy that we've been able to spend this time together today. Tell us a little bit about John's Crazy Socks. Oh my gosh. Tell us more about, what you guys do and where people can find you, all of the good stuff.
I can put plugged in. You can find us at johnscrazysocks.com. And we have a platform. We have a YouTube channel and we have all the platforms.
Excellent.
And we have a more podcast like the Spring Happin podcast, and we have any platform.
So we should share a little bit about the business. It's a slightly different type of business model. It's a social enterprise. So we have both a social and a business purpose, and they feed off of each other. And what's our mission?
Spread happiness.
Yeah.
Now we started. What day did we open, John?
We opened on a Friday, December 9th, 2016.
And it was John's idea to start the business.
That's my stepdaughter's birthday.
Oh,
Nice.
happy birthday.
Yeah, right? That's cute.
So- But it was born out of necessity. Many of the families of people listening know this. There just aren't many. John was in his last year of high school and looking, what am I going to do next? And there just aren't enough good opportunities.
Yeah.
But he's a natural entrepreneur. If
Right.
you didn't see a job you wanted, what were you going to do?
I want to create one. I want to make one.
Right? So
Exactly. I love
he
that.
had the idea. When we started, it was just the two of us. And what we do with most of those first orders, how we deliver them?
Our home deliveries.
We're doing home deliveries. Today, we have grown. So how many different socks do we have today?
We have 4,000 different kinds.
Whoa.
We have shipped over 380,000 packages to 88 different countries.
Wow.
And here's some of the key things. We've been able to create 34 jobs. 22 of those are held by people with different abilities.
Yes.
We have a giving back program that's baked into everything we do. So we start by pledging 5% of our earnings to.
A Special Olympics.
And why the Special Olympics?
I am Special Olympics athlete.
But we've
Yes.
gone on to create products that celebrate causes, raise awareness of those causes, and raise money for them. So what was the first awareness sock
I
you
did
created?
Down Trump awareness socks.
And who designed that?
I did.
You did. And that raises money. So that celebrates people with Down syndrome. And it raises money for the National Down Syndrome Society. We have autism-related products that celebrate people with autism and raises money for the Autism Society of America and on like that.
Yeah.
So we've been able to donate over $500,000.
Oh my gosh.
So, here's the thing. When people, we're always looking to create personal experiences and connect with our customers. So what goes in every package?
I taken them out and candy.
You get a thank you note from John, you get candy. On the packing slip, you see the picture and the name of the person who packed your order.
Wow. How personal.
So
That's cool.
when with our customers, they're buying our socks and they're getting great socks, right? We have over 29,000 five-star reviews.
Oh
But
my
they're
gosh.
helping us hire people with different abilities. They're helping us give back. They're supporting the advocacy work. And most of all, they're helping us spread happiness. So at the end of
Absolutely.
the day, we are the world's largest sock store because we have more socks than anybody else. But we're not really a sock store. The socks are just the physical manifestation for the story and the mission.
Yeah.
And we're pretty fortunate, huh, bud?
Yeah, we are.
So people can find us at johnscrazysocks.com.
Wonderful.
John told you we're on all the social media platforms, particularly Facebook,
Twitter,
Instagram,
TikTok.
TikTok. You love doing those
Woohoo.
TikTok videos.
I'm on TikTok, John. We got to connect.
We do definitely. We do a Facebook Live show every Thursday evening. We have that has now produced a podcast.
And it's great, viewers and listeners. Go watch it. I mean, I get more smiles and laughs and feel so good after I see your guys' lives. So
What's the name of the podcast?
That's pretty happy in pocket.
With John and Mark. We're on all the podcast
Yeah.
platforms. If folks are interested, what do you do every Tuesday afternoon?
Every Tuesday, I host a dance party. Every Tuesday, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern time.
John hosts an online dance party. We can
okay.
get most weeks we get about 20 people, but some weeks we get 100 people dancing on Zoom.
I love it.
Particularly, folks, if they're isolated,
Yeah.
a way for them to connect and have some fun.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh. It's been such an honor to have you guys on today. I'm so glad that we made this connection. I hope we
Sarah,
can stay
we're
in
so
touch.
glad to
Thank
be
you.
here, right?
Yeah, I hope we can stay in touch, and either the SJ Child Show tour is coming east or you guys are going to have to head west.
We would love to do that.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
We have been looking for a while. We want to do a John Meets America tour.
Oh,
of
yeah,
five
that's great.
countries for like 3 months.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And we will definitely come to Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I just like a two, I like a 2-3 hour drive where you are down to Las Vegas.
Why do you keep mentioning Las Vegas?
He wants to go to Vegas.
No.
Oh,
Only
I know.
we
have
down there.
We have been to Vegas. We've
Met the
spoken at
connection.
things there, had some fun. But I'll tell you what it's like working with John. One time we were down in Atlantic City. We were going to be speaking at an event there. We got in Monday night, and I say, John, you want to go down to the casino? He says, no. I said, okay, well, you want to go over to the sports book? We're
That's New
sport
Jersey.
fans. I know. So we're sporting fans. You want to go over to the sports book? We can bet on one of our teams. He says, no. He looks at me. He says, Dad, we are here on business. We are doing business.
I love it.
And when we were in Vegas, you waited until after we had our speaking engagement.
Yes.
And then the next day, you rode the roller coaster.
I went on New York roller coaster, and I went to a lazy river.
The lazy
Ooh,
river.
I like the
that?
lazy river.
And we did a magic show. The
David Copperfield
David-
magic
David
show.
Ooh, how'd you like
And-
that? Was that fun?
Did you like
yeah,
that?
I love it. And by the way, I played casino in Vegas,
Ooh.
and Dad gave me $20 for that.
What?
Even.
You broke even?
He played the slot machines, gave him $25. He played the slot machines for about an hour and a half, and he came out absolutely even. It was great fun.
Right. How does that even happen? Right. That's fantastic. John's luck. We're calling it John's luck.
Yeah, I did that to down to Bahamas. I played casino there, and my mom gave me $10 for that.
I think you have to watch it. You don't want to develop a gambling problem.
Right? You too.
I never played black.
Blackjack?
I
Fantastic.
never played blackjack.
Roulette? Throw the dice?
No,
No, in the craps game? No?
no.
No.
I'm only a slot machine.
You only the slot machine. Okay. You and the old ladies.
You and my husband
Yeah,
and the old
yeah,
ladies.
Mom.
Don't worry. He'll be right there with you. And I didn't tell you guys this before, and you didn't even know or anything, but my husband had a sister with Down syndrome as well. And so my sister-in-law, I cared for her last few years with us. And she had Alzheimer's. And so it was hard, but it was the most kind of just wonderful experience to be able to do that, to honor her.
What was her name?
Tammy. Aunt Tammy.
Well, there is that connection between Down syndrome and Alzheimer's. And actually, that's why we're in Boston.
To
Because
take the study.
tomorrow, John is enrolling in a medical study to try to understand that connection. Because there have been a lot of improvements, a lot of strides.
Wonderful.
So John will undergo a physical exam and interviews. I'm going to interview your mom and me. The only request I have is I want to make sure that they use a big needle on John. He goes to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Well, why would we do that?" I said, I don't care why you do it. Just make sure you're going to use a big needle.
Oh, that's funny. You too. Oh my gosh. Love it. I love it. Yeah. Good. It was so great to have you here today. Thank you so much for your time.
Sarah.
And
Yeah.
What a wonderful conversation. You have such
Thank
a
you.
wonderful podcast.
Oh, thank you so
Warm and
much.
kind and
I told you it was just like making a friend, people get to eavesdrop into my making friends connections. I love it. I think it's, I just put a post up this morning that sometimes my birthday comes around and it reminds me why making friends is so special, because I was still answering things this morning. I couldn't even get through them all yesterday and half of today.
Yesterday was Sarah's birthday.
Yes.
You know what we should do?
Oh yeah.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you.
Woohoo! Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. That was very special and I really appreciate it. Thank you. And now I'll have a recording to play anytime I want to. Just in case I need a little boost, right? Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the show today. And everything will be down in the description and up on the screen, so you'll know exactly where to go to johnscrazysocks.com. Make sure to listen to their podcast, Spreading Happiness. As you can see, they don't lack a bit of it. So they are able to spread it in wonderful fashion. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, listeners and viewers, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.